10 seconds, TC 493, volume 24, Kailash Chandra. Start. Mr. Chairman, the resolution under discussion raises a very important matter which merits careful consideration on the part of honorable members of this House and of the government. Questions will be asked and have been asked as to where is the necessity of nationalizing commercial banks. What is wrong with our banks today? Banks accept deposits from the poor as well as the rich. They support and enrich the economic activities of the nation, and what is wrong with them? Some time ago, there was a series of bank failures in West Bengal culminating in the failure of the Lakshmi Bank and the Birla Bank. Maybe when such things occur, doubts arise in our minds as to whether the ordinary man who deposits in the bank is really safe, whether we have sufficient guarantees for the safe working of the banking system. But then the answer is that we have tightened the provisions of the Banking Companies Act and given more and more control to the Reserve Bank, and therefore the Reserve Bank is in a position today not only to insist upon all sorts of safeguards for the flotation of banks but also for the conducting of banks. It has the powers of supervision, control and direction, and therefore, as the honorable members were saying, banking today is far safer than it ever was. So, where is the need for nationalization? Sir, in order to answer this question, one has to probe a little deeper and examine the function of banking. It is not a question of public sector or private sector. It is not a question of relating banking to private industry. We have to look at this question from the point of view of the goal, and we have adopted. Our goal is the creation of a socialist society. This we adopted some 7 or 8 years ago, and I am amazed to see that not a single step has been taken which is calculated to lead us to that goal. One important factor which helps to take us towards that goal is the removal of inequalities of wealth. This is a goal to which possibly no honorable member can have any exception. If we have to remove inequalities of wealth, then we have to remove the opportunities which create concentration of wealth. Now, I wish to show that these commercial banks do help in the concentration of wealth. Now, we have to really root out all chances of a man unlawfully enriching himself. By the position of the strength of money, by the position of the strength of influence that he commands in the society, he is able to exploit others and create a position of wealth for himself. Now, in these opportunities, the banks have a very great place. Sir, if we have to realize the important place that banks have in our society today and the vital role that they are playing in our economy, we have to probe, as I was saying a little before, a little deeper. How do they work? I am an agriculturist. I grow cotton and I bring it to the market. In the market, there are 2 or 3 buyers, and they are rich people. Any number of people are willing to buy, but they have no money to buy that. These 2 or 3 persons have influence with the banks. They get any amount of loan from the banks or overdraft. Others cannot have that opportunity. These 2 or 3 persons will corner the produce in the market. They do not demand it when there is a lot of produce, and they make the produce rot in the market until at last the peasant is tired out, and then they will dictate the price in spite of the government's regulated market. They will have to sell at the price dictated by these 2 or 3 purchasers. I have this experience myself. We started a cooperative society, the Consumers and Producers Cooperative Society, of which I was the president. It was just to counteract this that I started it because mine is a cotton growing area. We have only 2 cotton purchasers in the entire cotton area. They are playing havoc with the cotton producers. But what are our resources? How can a cooperative society raise enough funds to buy 1 day's produce and 1 day's supply in the market? No banks lend me because I have no security to offer and I have no influence with them. These 2 people can do anything with the market, and this is going on today in spite of our regulations. What I say with regard to cotton applies with regard to oil seeds. It applies with regard to every commodity that comes to the market. Now, this has an indirect effect. If I am able to corner the oil seeds today because I can export them with the help of my money, then I am indirectly raising the price of oil seeds at home. So every man will have to pay a higher price.